Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McLemore.
All right, good evening and welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. I am your host, Kimberly McLemore, and welcome to a special edition of the WSBI podcast program. This evening, you will be spending moments with Lady K and Mistah T. Welcome, Mr. T.
Hey, what's up out there, y'all? How y'all feeling? Happy November.
Oh my goodness. I don't even, and it's getting cold too. Not good. Not good.
No, it's not. That's all we can say is it's not good. And from what I heard, a few months ago, this was supposed to be like a really cold winter for us. So let's hope that the weatherman that said that a couple months ago that I picked up on, let's hope that he was lying. Mm-hmm. Maybe he was drunk and he read the teleprompter wrong.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just not ready for any of this. I mean, I love fall, I really do. But once we start kind of getting past that fall portion and winter starting to sneak around the corner, it's just not my thing, And I should be thankful because, being from the Midwest, it's extremely cold there compared to this here. But I just never like it, so I'm just going to be a whiny little thing about it. As I tell people, when summer, was here and spring was here, but it's hot. I don't want to hear your mouths when winter gets here because it is going to be cold. You're going to wish you had that heat, okay?
Right.
Anyway, we have just went on a tangent about the weather. Hello, listeners. So for those who don't know who we are, we're going to tell you who we are. And I'm going to let you go this time because you were so kind and gracious to let me do it last time, my love. Go for it.
Oh, well, hey there, listeners out there. This is Mistah T coming at you live, loud, and in voice. I'm going to say in color, but I'm in voice because you can't see me. It's all auditory. I'm Mistah T, also known as Tarek. My students call me T. I am the owner-operator of Move with T, a fitness company located in the DMV, specifically in Northern Virginia. We focus on fitness, motivational wellness as well, and just trying to keep it all together. We do Thoughtful Thursdays with T on Thursday. So if you haven't subscribed to Move with T, check me out on Facebook and Instagram, of course. Shameless plug right there. But we do Thoughtful Thursdays with T. And on Fridays, we do our Friday Fit Tips. So you can always check in on those things. You can catch up on the previous postings, of course, just by hitting follow and following and seeing what we posted. Other than that, I am an avid music lover. I like to brag about being a Beyonce-holic. Can't get enough Beyonce in my life. I am that guy. So just so you guys know. And in addition to being a Netflix extraordinaire and a proud doggy daddy to a wonderful little Shih Tzu by the name of Pepper.
Pepper.
Pepper. And he's very quiet, so he won't ever have his own podcast, listeners. So don't worry about it because he didn't have a lot to say. He barely even barks, which is a wonderful thing. And also, I've recently found out about myself that I'm I'm becoming an avid sock collector.
Oh.
For some reason, and by that, it's not sock collector like you may think with the cool designs and patterns and stuff. But I've noticed when I've been coming home, you come home and you undress and you put on your comfy clothes or whatever. I've been taking my socks off and leaving them in the same pile, in the same place. And I was like, I over the course of several days, between teaching classes and just regular work, I was like, what is going on? I thought, well, maybe the dog did it. I said, no, that was me. So listeners, you learn a little bit more about me. I like to hold on to my dirty socks, evidently.
Okay. Everybody got their thing, okay?
Everybody got their something. Everybody got their something. And also, I do like to let everybody know that I'm also an online blogger for a wonderful fitness blog called thezbeat.com. That's THE, the letter Z, then BEAT.com. You can find that also on Facebook and Instagram, where we have wonderful instructors that in the area that contribute to the blog throughout the month for different topics. One of my favorites was from one of our contributors. Her name is Liz, and she was talking about the art of the selfie. So if you want to know how to take the perfect selfie, you need to check that article out. And then, of course, you can find my articles, as well as other articles that post throughout the month just by checking in and following us there. So that's, I think, all I got to say about me. I'm going to turn it over to you, Lady K.
You are just full of all types of yummy things. Just awesome. Stay
yummy.
We're going to be talking about some of that yumminess in a little bit too. So
indeed.
Yes. And as people who don't know me, I am called Lady K on this show, but my name is Kimberly McLemore, and I am the founder and CEO of Women's Small Business Initiative, which is basically an online platform that provides a lot of great resources in collaboration with either new or existing business owners. So I'm all about sharing resources, and it's a free membership, group. So, hey, get on board, check us out, and, provide some valuable information to somebody who may need it. Nobody needs to reinvent the wheel, right? And so then my other business, of course, I am an author. So most people do know me as author Kimberly McLemore. So I have author Kimberly M. McLemore, LLC, that I am the founder of. And the big thing that I do there, beyond just writing books, I am a self-publishing trainer. And I actually teach people how to rewrite their stories of life. So basically, one of my books about talking about my tragic event of life, being involved with domestic abuse. And then my other books are really about self-assessment and learning how to grow, understanding what success means to you. Are you really living your best life? And one of my other books, talking about the pros and cons of balancing life, type that stuff. So, I'm kind of a all-around type individual when it comes to doing some of the things I enjoy doing. And then most people don't even know that I'm also a Zen, which means that I was a Zoom instructor at one point. I still maintain my license. I don't teach anymore, but I am the background dancer for Move with T.
Hey.
So I love it, being able to help out other people. I don't have the time to teach anymore and have a few leg injuries. So, that's kind of out of the question for me, but having the opportunity to support others is what I do. And that's what my brand is all about, is truly helping others succeed in their dreams as well. So that's just a little bit about me. So what we're going to do is continue to move it on. We have an amazing topic to talk about. I mean, every month we pick out really good ones, but being that, here it's November, December is literally around the corner. The year is truly coming to an end. And so this is a great topic. Work burn out. How often do you feel burnt out from your job, and what do you do to prevent it? What do you do, Mr. T?
Well, actually, before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to, we got this topic actually from one of our listeners who sent that to us on Facebook, I think it was.
Yes, in our page. Yes. We keep telling people we have this amazing Lady K Mistah T Facebook page, and we ask people consistently to, hey, tell us what you want us to talk about. And actually, she came up with a whole bunch of topics. So we're going to pick one. We're going to pick one.
Right? I was like, oh, we're good. We're good. Like, awesome. Hey. It was so awesome. And I think that, I think it was Allison. So let's give a shout out to Allison.
Yes.
So
Allison.
I know she's probably out there listening.
I'm going to give her a clap. Got to give her a clap.
Clap. So I think this is a really good topic, especially for this time of year, by the way, because we're going into the holidays. I call it the trifecta of holidays because we get hit November, December, January, bam, bam, bam.
Exactly.
And then you get a little bit of a break, and then there's Valentine's Day. And that's a whole other situation to deal with.
Yeah, we'll talk about that topic when the time comes too. Because look, I don't know what a Valentine's Day is anymore. But anyway,
I would say point, set, match.
Yeah. Yes.
So just getting to the topic with work burnout. A lot of us, oh my gosh, especially if you're in a career and you're doing the same thing and have been doing the same thing, I think for years, maybe decades, you do start to feel that drag of doing the same thing. And we all know typical job responsibilities. We have those lists, and then many of us have that little add-on at the bottom that says other duties as assigned or other duties as needed, which sometimes those are little blessings in disguise. But we usually look at them as like that's just more work for me to do. But it also helps to break up the monotony of our daily work. And I'm going to be honest, I'm one of those people, I'm like, really? You giving me something else? I don't have enough to do already.
Right.
But when I really think about it, and that's giving me a little breakup to the normalcy in my day. And so that can help tremendously. And I've worked in jobs before where everything was very rigid. Like you did this, you did this, you do this. And, it was a set pattern of certain things you had to do every day. And that does get frustrating. And you do start to get burnt out and just like, or maybe you're overworked, because many of us are overworked and underpaid, right?
Right.
So we go through this experience and we're just like, okay, well, what do I do? Sometimes it can help to maybe flip your day if you can. And maybe things that you would normally do in the afternoon, switch it to the morning, to your morning routine. But sometimes we do have those reports that we have to run because that we run by this time of the morning. So, you can't really change that too much, but you do what you can, or I mean, it's really hard to prevent. But it's very important, I think, to recognize the signs of when you start to feel burnout, because that might be it's time for a vacay or staycay. You say, let me take some time off. You got some time saved up, so go ahead and be like, hey, I'm gonna take a week off. Where you going? My house.
Right.
And you just stay at home and watch the Golden Girls or Lifetime or Hallmark Channel or catch up on some show on Netflix and just stay at home and just relax and don't do anything. Go take yourself for a spa day or whatever. It's really important to break up the monotony like that, and to find interesting ways of making what you do not suck so much, to be honest. Right. Which I know is hard. Well, it's so hard. It's hard. I know it's hard, but And then sometimes, and this is, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Lady K, to get your thoughts on it. But sometimes, if we're truly burnt out and we're lackluster in our jobs or whatever role we're doing, sometimes it also means it's time for us to find a new career path.
Amen.
Because sometimes that means we're stuck in a rut. We're just going through, the day and just doing what we got to do just because, we got the mortgage and the car payments due. The kids need braces and stuff. And so we're just doing what we got to do, but we're not passionate about what we're doing. So especially when you find that you're not passionate about it, find your passion and work on that. Maybe as a side business or maybe to make that your full-time business. So it's important to think about that as well. When you get stuck in a rut and you're burnt out, try to find a way to ignite that fire by doing something that you love. So
exactly, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, the work burnout thing seems to be very consistent and persistent, should I say? And I say that because we live in a world where time seems to be moving so fast that one day is here, the week is gone, the month is gone, and now we're literally talking about the end of the year coming. And, and so you look up and you're like, what did I accomplish? What did I do? My job is driving me crazy, family life, it's all these little things that are going on. So you can get burnt out from each end of the stick, so to speak, So work burnout to me is definitely something that I constantly I struggle with, and I have to deal with consistently because I travel a lot, and for my job as well as my personal businesses. And it's funny, people think, I hear, this got to be so much fun, and they think I live such a glamorous life, not realizing how burnt out it is to be gone for months at a time, literally. And so living out of a suitcase is not what I would call glamorous. Okay? Some days it's nice, you don't mind getting away from that routine that you were talking about, from your job, and you're constantly doing that. But there's so much that I have to think about, and I think there's other people who would agree or who live in the world that I live in, where you're constantly on the road, whether it's for your job or whether it's for a personal business, but you're always living out of that suitcase. You definitely have to find different ways to prevent yourself from literally burning out and just falling over, because you are doing somewhat of a routine. My job as a project manager, and having to be at every location that my team is at for long periods of time, it can be much. It can be a bit much, but I love what I do. I'm very happy about being able to support my soldiers in the Army, and we're there for them. That everything we do is about them, but at the end of the day, we're all still human, right? So to think about, what do you do to prevent yourself to get to that burnout? I definitely love some of the things you just talked about. If your job is getting to be too much, then maybe it's time for you to rethink about your job. If it's a certain routine that you're used to doing every day, change that routine up. I've even had to go back and learn to say, you know what, I was very good, and I'm always beating myself about, I got to get up early in the morning and get to that gym at 4:00 because I just don't have time to do it in the evening. I have learned to balance it much better, to where I'm not killing myself to get up in the morning. I still may do it, but I've also been able to balance it out where I can do it at nights now, because I'm learning to take care of myself first. And I've got to the point where if I'm tired, I'm tired. I'm just not doing it anymore. So you can call me lazy, you can call me whatever you want, but I've learned to notice those triggers, those things that are making me unhappy, those things that are making me tired, those things that are getting me prepared to be so burnt out that I can't stand myself, letting anybody else stand in me. So you have to learn to balance it. And, a lot of people don't like to use that word balance, but at the end of the day, it really is about balancing who you are as an individual and knowing, all the things that you need to do that are good for you and that are not good for you. We all know that we have livelihoods and we have responsibilities, but if you know that your job is not where you want to be, and maybe you want to start that new business, that's great, but make sure that you understand that, having a business, it's even more work. So it's not like, getting that paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or every month, however you're being paid. You're going to be working 10 times harder because it's yours. And so, don't burn yourself out on that as well. Make sure that when you're ready to make that walk away from your job, that you will be prepared to do so. As far as other ways to prevent yourself from being burnt out, like T talked about, I'm a spa person. Monthly, I don't miss my time in the spa, trying to get my great massages, get my toes done, taking that little personal time. For a lot of us women, we even enjoy just getting our hair done, going out shopping, the little things, sitting down and having a glass of wine, to me is a moment of serenity. So, when you're not used to getting those moments all the time, those are great opportunities for yourself to do something that's going to benefit you, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Yes. I mean, and it is. And like I said, we're at that point, at the end of the year where people really do start to think about, wow, this year's gone by fast. What have I done? I've driven myself crazy. Have I really accomplished things I want to accomplish? I'm just so tired. We all get to that point where we just crash. The holidays are coming, so we're all excited about that. But the thing that's funny about holidays is that we love them, but then you need another vacation from your vacation, right?
So, that's right.
Yeah, because we're pleasing so many people. You want to visit your family and your friends, and you want to do all these amazing things, but you really are burning yourself out on that too. I've even gotten better about not killing myself over the holidays. If I don't want to travel, I don't want to travel. If I don't feel like putting up that tree, the tree ain't coming up. It's just one of those things.
Well, that's kind of fun though. Usually I'm so late putting up my tree. Like I think I usually put it up like a week before. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, oh, let me think about colors so I'm like in a store trying to pick up like colors like literally like the week before Christmas, and I'm like, oh, it's a Saturday night, you have a glass of wine, and then before you know it, it's 2:00 in the morning, but the tree is decorated and ready to go.
Right, but see, I'm just the opposite. I love having my decorations up right before Thanksgiving because I'm like, I need to have time to enjoy them. I'm like, what's the purpose of doing it if I can only get to enjoy it for a couple of days? I didn't put in all that work.
Very true, very true. I'm usually just lazy, and in the years past, I've just been so busy. I'm just like, I don't have the energy to plan. And then all of a sudden, I have to have that one day that I get, oh, I'm ready now, and it's just like it hits me like a brick. And I'm like, okay, it's time to do it. And I just do it. And then it's done. And it's like, oh, this is so pretty. This looks so nice.
It is. I wish we could actually keep our trees up all year round. I would be happier. Take all the trimmings off. But, I like the little lights and everything. I just think it's really pretty when you have the lights, the clear lights, all year round. It just, to me, it just brings out the home, So, unfortunately, I don't do that, But one of these days, that may happen.
Oh, I'm hoping so. I was going to say, because this year, and I know we're talking about, we're supposed to be talking about work burnout, but this is a good way. This is a good way to get through the burnout. Think about holiday decorating.
Exactly.
I was like, because we had just moved into our place, and during Christmas last year, like at the beginning of December. So we had just moved into the new place, and so. In addition to unpacking things, I just wasn't in the spirit I was like, I don't feel like putting decorations up right now because I'm still trying to unpack the house. And we're trying to get the house together. But we have this beautiful balcony. Like you have a beautiful balcony as well. Like your deck is awesome. So I was like, this year I think we're going to actually have to decorate the balcony because it's so nice.
Well, so, this year I would love to be able to decorate my balcony, but I'm going to be gone for 20 days on my job. So I won't get back until I think I'm less than a week before Christmas. So it goes for the decorations this year.
Right. You might get home, throw a wreath up on the door, and be like, well, there we go. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Exactly. It's like, it's here and it's gone because that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm like, boy, so it goes for the idea of enjoying December when it comes, But anyway, we'll backtrack to November now. But we do have some great things in November. They're coming along. We have Thanksgiving, which is literally only a week away. I mean, we're doing this show, and here it is, the 21st, and next week is Thanksgiving. So I'm like, okay.
There you go. It's like, what do we do? What do we do?
Exactly. Yeah. So so are you gonna go out of town this year for the holiday, or are you going to do turkey at your house?
It'll be turkey at the house. It'll be turkey at home. Just, usually with the holidays. And for those of you who don't know, I work in healthcare. So usually it's just easier to do a turkey at home because I'll be, I may be off for Thanksgiving at work, but the next day is a Friday and it's back to business as usual. So while everybody's out there shopping early in the morning, I'm going to work. Because patients need to be taken care of because they need some help. So and then usually Christmas is usually more of a better time for me. And that's if I do decide to go home, which I'm still deliberating on whether or not I'm going to go home there or not. That's usually when I would go home is during Christmas because usually my office will be closed Christmas Day and the day after. So.
Yeah, and it just still goes right back to even our topic of just burning ourselves out for, getting prepared for the holidays, figuring out how much you want to take off time and, and can we get our work done? And like you said, you're in a position in a job where you still have patients to take care of, people that, the hospitals can't stop. The businesses that surround those hospitals cannot stop just because we have the holidays. So, we get ourselves such in a frenzy in preparing for these things that we don't realize how we entangle them into our regular daily life and into our jobs because it all comes full circle. So, being that we're talking about preventing, sit back this year and think more outside of the box about preventing yourselves from going through these things. So even though we're joking and laughing about it, at the end of the day, you know, whether you have turkey that day or whether you're, you know, at someone's house or you have a lot of things, take that day for yourself, you know, because not everybody's going to have that Friday off. You may not have that Friday off. So it's one day. It's one day that you can sit at home and relax and enjoy your moment. And then some people don't like to be alone, but at least make sure that you prepare yourself and enjoy that day so that you know, can feel better prepared for the following days and for the weekend. Because, you know, like you were saying, you know, there's a lot of shopping that goes on. People out running around ragged and doing their thing. But, you know, that's a part of the reason why we get burnt out. You know, when you see this, I laugh when I see these commercials and people are knocking each other down to go get a toy, or, you know, go get a TV.
Right,
like,
right.
Isn't that the same shit you see every year? Excuse my language, but I'm like, wait a minute now. You know, I mean, it's just crazy, you know, what we put ourselves through just in order to feel like you have to have it at that moment. You know, you want to get that discount, but you don't sit back and think about that much effort that you're putting into that one thing. You could put effort into doing something else that will prevent you from going over the edge, right?
There you go. That's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, you know, it's just that time of year. You know, we really wanted our topic this year in November to be kind of light and fun. And, you know, we're not going to be talking about any events this month. And we definitely won't be coming on in December, because December is our opportunity to shut it down. WSBI does no shows during the month of December. So, and
y'all heard that?
That's right.
No
none.
None.
And neither does Lady K and Mistah T. It is our shutdown time. It's our time to enjoy our family and friends. And it's our time to just prepare ourselves for a new year, but also let go of all of that burnout that we have gone throughout the whole year. You know, it's just really time to wind down, you know? So I don't know. You have any thoughts on what else people could do? As our last thoughts, I guess, you know, for the show about, you know, hey, it's the end of the year. What other things could you think about you would talk to people about today, our listeners?
Well, the only thing I can think of is for our listeners, especially if we have any new listeners, you guys can go back and catch up on our previous episodes during the holiday season, so that way you're fresh and ready for January. How about that?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And also, we need to come up with a name for our listeners. Like, you know, like J-Lo has her J-Lovers, Beyonce has her Beehive, Rihanna has her Navy, Wendy Williams has her co-hosts. Everybody has their people. So, hey, listeners out there, how about over the holidays, you guys, we're going to challenge you guys. How about you guys think of a name that we can call you, like our Momenteers or
I
something
think that's
fun?
the name that we had before. I think we used it in a couple of shows. So I like the Momenteers. But if somebody has a suggestion and they think that, you know, Momenteers is not appropriate for us, but,
right?
You know, let us know. You know, we won't take offense. You know, but that's what this show is about. You know, getting, you know, information from all of our listeners. You know, the show is a local show, so we want people to chime in, you know, talk about some of the topics that they want us to talk about. If you want to be a guest, come on the show. Let us know. We have a Facebook page that we have, and I'll let you talk about the Instagram and all the other pages. We have it all, so there's no reason why you can't give us suggestions and tell us what you think.
That's right. So on Facebook, you can find us, listeners, at Moments with Lady K and Mistah T. On Instagram, you can find us at Lady K and Mistah T Podcast. It's all one word, Lady K and Mistah T Podcast. And once again, K is just the letter K, and T is just the letter T. It's not K-A-Y, it's not K-A-I, it's not T-E-E or T whatever. You may think of T-E-A. It's just the letter T and the letters K. So Moments with Lady K and Mistah T. That's Mr. M-I-S-T-A-H, by the way.
Yeah, Mistah.
Mistah. Yeah. Because I don't want to be confused with the 18. You know, I want to be separate from that. I don't have a mohawk.
No.
But yeah, once again, on Facebook, you guys can catch us at Moments with Lady K and Mistah T. Instagram, Lady K and Mistah T Podcast. Or you can email us at Moments T and K. That's Moments T andyk@gmail.com. So you can reach out to us in a multitude of ways so we can hear from you. And then, of course, if we get a bunch of different options for possible names for our listeners, we can do a little poll actually on Instagram because it lets us do all kinds of cool and funky stuff. We can do a little poll and see where our listeners are and see whichever name, if we get more than one, whichever one gets the most votes, that'll be the new name.
And there you go. That's right. Maybe we can help pull out some prizes, in the new year. So, there's so many different things, like I said, we can do. And, we really do appreciate everybody listening to our show. This show has truly inspired us to continue doing it. And we have inspired many others. And we have grown tremendously since last year when we started doing it just periodically. And we're looking to do the show full time in 2020. So we really want everybody's thought process on that. If you love listening to shows like T said, go back and listen to some of our previous shows throughout the year of 2019. I think you will find that it is definitely worth having a show on a regular basis, and we'll make sure that you guys get all that information. You will always find information on our Facebook page. If you don't like doing Instagram and so forth. And like I said, if you have any questions or you have any concerns, we have a new Gmail account. We will put all that information on our Facebook page so that you can find it. We'll also put it in our other business pages because we both have business pages that you will be able to follow us through as well. But Mr. T, we're at the end of our show.
Oh, I know.
Gosh. And the last show for the year for us.
I know, now it's time to say goodbye to all my new something friends. Yeah. I forgot what the words were. That from the Mickey Mouse Club.
I said we both messed that song up. Okay.
But I remember we both remembered the melody. Now it's time to say goodbye.
Yes. You
of course, I don't want to sing the rest of it because I don't know if that's like a copyright infringement. And
we don't need to buy Disney.
Like when we come back from the holidays and Disney got a letter for us on the desk, you need to pay us for this, because I know I can afford to look at Disney on TV, but I can't afford to write them a check.
But you know what? They need to be paying us because we advertising Disney. Okay.
Hey, we said that like 4 times. Hey.
Exactly. So look, all we gotta say is we do not own the rights to this song, so we just let y'all know we just enjoying it and sharing with those who may not know anything about the Mouseketeers.
Exactly. And if you don't know it, get into it.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. But
I don't even know if they even have a Mickey Mouse Club now, but that's neither here nor there. I'm like, do they have one for the new kids coming up? I don't know if that's the thing.
I'm not sure. I don't have the little ones, so it makes it hard for me to follow.
Me either. Yeah. Me either. Sorry to the moms and dads out there, but me either. I don't know.
Yeah, it's can't help you. Okay.
Good luck.
Right, exactly. I couldn't even tell you the last time I even went over, the Disney World. I mean, that's been years ago. Okay, so anyway, but we are towards the end of our show. Do you have any moments of inspiration that you would like to spew out for us? Because you are just wonderful at this part of the show. I just love it.
Oh gosh, I actually don't have one. The only thing that's really was prevalent on my mind, when we were coming in to record, was just to say happy holidays and get some rest and be ready for 2020, because it's a new year. We're going to see everything in full disclosure. Let's go.
That's right. New year coming. We will be coming back in January 2020. Keep your eyes open for the new announcement of the page, the new link. We are going to be on our own. We love WSBI, but we have grown, and we are going to have our own platform to share and to talk about our amazing things going on within our community, and the people in our community, the events going on in our community. And if you want to be a guest, like we said, reach out to us. We would love to have you on our new show, on our new platform. So just keep your eyes open and your ears open. Hey, you don't want to miss out on this. But again, we all want to say thank you, Mr. T. I love you. I truly have enjoyed spending time with you, and with this year, it has been phenomenal, and I can't wait till next year.
Me too, Lady K. We got lots of big things coming. Big things popping. Little things stopping.
popping, dropping, popping, dropping. But anyway, let me get back to the end of the show. So anyway, like we said, we all thank you for listening to our show. We are excited about 2020 coming. But until next time, for everyone else, you will be back here as well. Like I said, the WSBI, a regular show time will be coming back in January as well. And we will not be on air in December. So I will be reminding everybody of that on our regular show for the following week. But enjoy your holidays. And again, till next time, we'll see you soon on a Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Good night.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.wsbillc.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.